So now that I've convinced you you need a budget, let's talk about what every budget should have. Primero, your income. You need to list all the dinero that comes your way. Whether you get paid once a month, twice a month, or every single week, you need to list your income. Next, you need to list out your expenses. Now, your expenses can either be flexible expenses or fixed expenses. Your fixed expenses are the expenses that are regular. They don't change unless you do something to change them. That includes your rent, your health insurance, car payments, student loan payments, your minimum credit card payments, subscriptions to Netflix and Hulu, your cell phone, and your internet. You know what your fixed expenses cost because they cost the same amount every single month. Your flexible expenses are variable. They vary from month to month. Expenses like gas or food can change depending on how often you're going out. If you have a month where you're out and about a lot, then you're probably gonna spend more on gas and on comida fuera de la casa, compared to a month where you're spending a lot of time at home. Some other flexible expenses include the cost of clothing or entertainment or regalos, anything that might change on a monthly basis based on what's going on in your life. For now, what you should know is that every budget will have income, fixed expenses, and flexible expenses. And you should probably notice that every budget is gonna look different because every person is different, and personal finance is personal. In fact, your personal budget is gonna change over time también. There are gonna be times in your life where you have more fixed expenses. And then there's gonna be times in your life where you're gonna have more flexible expenses. What you want, your needs, and your values are gonna change throughout your lifetime. And a good budget should reflect those changes. So now that you know the parts of a budget, I wanna make sure that you understand what makes a budget sustainable. Because anything that feels like deprivation is not sustainable. Sustainable budgets are flexible. You allow yourself to make changes as necessary to account for your changing needs and wants. Sustainable budgets are adaptive. You understand that your budget when you first started working is gonna look a lot different compared to your budget when you're in your late 30s. Your sustainable budget is gonna be reflective of your individual values. If right now it's really important for you to be sending money to your familia, then you should prioritize that and do it. If it's important for you to be traveling right now, because that's something you really enjoy, then budget for it. Whatever it is that you value, make sure that it has a spot in your budget, because your budget should be reflective of your values. Another key thing about sustainable budgets is that they are reflective of your individual financial goals. If you have a goal to retire early, then your budget should show that you are investing a lot in retirement accounts. Sustainable budgets need to be conducive to your lifestyle, right? If you're ever dealing with unemployment or a lower salary, you are gonna want to adjust your budget because you wanna stay motivated and continue to believe that you can be on this path to building wealth. All sustainable budgets need to be reviewed at least monthly. It's one thing to create a plan, it's another thing to make sure that you're actually following that plan. Checking in with your budget is gonna make sure that it stays sustainable. Time to review everything you've learned in this lesson. A budget consists of your income, fixed expenses, and flexible expenses. Fixed expenses are the cost of any item that remains the same. Some examples include your rent, car insurance, cell phone bill, internet, etc. Flexible expenses are the cost of items that can vary depending on your lifestyle. Some examples include eating out, gas, entertainment, etc. Budgets are personal, and your budget will change throughout your life. Sustainable budgets are flexible, adaptive, reflect your own individual values, align with your financial goals, are conducive to your lifestyle, and are reviewed at least once a month. Thank you so much for being here learning about budgets. Now, let's go learn about all the different types of budgets. Ready?